Live from the City of Angels, it's Thursday night. The box office preview show is underway. And tonight's MMT evaluation, weapons. Holy hell, do we have a lot to talk about tonight. Some bumping techno in the background. As we get into this tonight, I'm going to go spoiler-free. It's going to be very hard for me to go spoiler-free. But I'm going to do my absolute best for you. If you saw the film come in right now, hit me with your comment. I'll get to as many as possible. Going to be joined by Scott Menzel. He sat next to me tonight as we watch this monstrosity unfold in front of our eyes. Did I just tip my hand where we're going tonight? I think I did. Let's get the out of theater reaction shot. You know I love these, and you guys love them too. There's me. What the fuck did I just watch? And you can see by the look on my face, this is where we're going tonight. Oh, I like this breakdown. Listen to this. Hell yeah. Tracks at the bottom of the screen. Let's do this on this Thursday night. We do it live. We're not like Jeremy Johns or Chris Stuckman or Grace Randolph. I don't need a teleprompter. Let's do it live from the City of Angels. It's time for the MMT evaluation of weapons. Here is a taste of the trailer as we get ready to rock tonight on this Thursday. Welcome in. It's time to do this live.
This is a true story.
Monday will mark 30 days since 17 grade school children have disappeared.
Those kids walked out of those homes. No one forced them.
7, 6, 11, 5.
There's something very wrong going on.
Moving up and down again.
I love how they steal the 28 years later trailer. Bad, Warner Brothers. Really bad. Naughty list for you. Let's continue a couple more seconds here.
What do you see that I don't?
Look at what's in front of you. Count the bullets in the bandolier.
I wish that this film moved like that trailer, because it doesn't, man. I love the premise. Guys, listen, I'm down for the idea of a bunch of kids go missing in the middle of the night, and the community's like, where the hell did this classroom go, right? That on its own is perfection, right? Build your film from that. The issue here is that you're sold that, and you're given almost an entirely different film by Zach Cregger, who, again, like he did in Barbarian, puts so much into the film and structures it so oddly that you end up with diminishing returns. And by the end, well, we're just getting started, okay? Let's talk about, yes, I like the premise. I like the intriguing screenplay at the beginning. We're seeing this story play out through the eyes of Julia Garner's character, the teacher in the classroom. Then we have one of the dads in Brolin. Then we have the cop. And then we have a druggie. This is where you know you start to get in big trouble when you see a character show up and you're like, why is this character in the movie? And why am I having an entire chapter dedicated to his involvement in this story? It's overpopulated. There's too many characters. There's too many things trying to be done by Zach Cregger, the writer-director of Weapons, and it's overly complex as a result, right? It should be told linearly. You don't want to do it the way he does in chapters, like here's her view, his view, his view, his view, and then wrap it up with one of the kids' views, okay? So I love, again, the idea, the premise of missing kids. This is dark. This is Prisoners-esque, right? Go back to what Denis did with that film. That's what I thought we were getting. That's not what we're getting here, okay? If you just watched it, you know what I'm talking about, okay? You get a little bit of everything, and it's kitchen sink, as I like to say, right? Throw everything in, and it is what it is. And the problem is that it lessens the overall effect of the film. And I'll tell you what really hurts this film is the humor, okay? Repeatedly, Zach inserts goofy moments, and look no further than the druggie character, okay? That is just, oh, wow, okay? When you put humor into a film that should be dark and Hereditary-esque, it lessens the scares. It cheapens the film, and repeatedly, that's what happens here. You also have characters and things going on outside the realm of the story that Zach tries to put in. Like, are we watching an episodic show? Why are you trying to build these characters out so much when it should just be focusing on the missing kids? Where are the kids? Let's find them. And I mentioned Hereditary. Well, guess what? Zach Cregger, I'm really close to accusing you of plagiarism. This is twice now. Go back to Barbarian. What film does that liberally borrow from? Don't Breathe. What was going on in the basement of Don't Breathe? What was going on in the bowels of the Airbnb in Barbarian, right? Okay? Very similar. Here, Hereditary. Without spoilers, it's very hard to describe, but you know what the twist is, and trust me, it's very similar. Witchcraft, and I'm just telling you, man, I'm like, what's going on here? You're stealing again, Zach. You're lifting shit. You got paid $38 million. Well, that's what Warner Brothers paid for this. $38 million for this script? Damn, man, I'm going to write a horror film. That's what I'm doing. As soon as the stream's over, I'm going to start writing a screenplay that's more focused, more frightening, more just a better fucking film than this. 65%. And it's another case here tonight of a bunch of wannabe critics that have no fucking clue what they're talking about again. They love to glaze directors. They love to be on the studio's good list. And you pay the price from hearing this is a horror masterpiece. Zach Cregger is the new Hitchcock. Whatever. I'm sure it's out there. He's here. He is God. That's what we live with now. You guys know that, right? Because let's talk about Warner Brothers for a minute. Let's have some fun. Welcome to the show, by the way. This is what we do. Nobody comes close. This is the gold standard. Nobody in this arena goes this hard, this accurately, and this fearlessly, and this objectively. But Warner Brothers has been sending emails to people on the screening list saying, let us know your social media reactions so we can, quote, prioritize you in the future. What do you think that means? That means you better say something good or you're not going to get invited. Well, here's the problem, Warner Brothers, and it's a big one for you. I don't give a fuck. I don't need to go to see your movie on Monday night or Tuesday. I'll see it Thursday, no strings attached, and I'll say what I need to say because that's what needs to happen in this space. Too many people in this space are like, I want to get invited to the next movie, so I want Warner Brothers to really like me. Bunch of fucking posers, man. Dude, this space is littered with literally untalented, bad, just people that want to get quoted and shit. Look, I'm on the ad campaign for weapons. Oh my God, my life's been made. I'm sure you can find that tweet for me tonight. If you want to fix this film, this is, man, I'm telling you, man, you got to go in here and I've got to get in with a team and we have to disassemble this shit and then build it again. This is like a Lego set that could have been super awesome and you forgot the entire middle and the whole thing collapses. You're like, damn it, I got to put it together again. You got to put it together again because you have to strip out all the humor. You have to get rid of the druggy. There's a whole bunch of humor that's gone right there. You have to make this hella more dark and not as goofy and not as derivative of other films. I don't even know if I can fix it. Like, I can just take the idea of a bunch of kids missing in a classroom and then have to rewrite the entire thing. I mean, just rewrite it all. All of it. The only thing I can keep is essentially the small town, the classroom, and the kids that went missing at 2:17 at night. That's it. That's all I get to keep. I got to rewrite all that. Yeah, you got to rewrite all this shit. That's where we're at. I don't know what to tell you. I wish I could tell you something different, but I can't. It's just, unfortunately, it's one of these nights where I got to be the guy again. I got to be the guy. Scott Menzel coming up shortly. Let's do an MMT seat check. This film's going to do well. I have a feeling it's going to outperform in a big way, okay? Here's the 8:20 going off here in just minutes. In fact, this is how busy it is. I can't even get in. It's giving me an error 10:15. Let's see if we can find one that we can look at. Let's look at the Dolby 1045 at Burbank. That looks really solid. Man, listen, I know, Weber, you're using AMC Burbank, which is one of the busiest AMCs, if not the single busiest AMC complex in the world. But, there's a lot of hype around this film because it's got 100% Rotten Tomatoes right now. Give me 1 second. Let me see it. Now, I'm pretty sure it's still, at least it was just a little bit ago, unless someone finally came in and said, no, this is a 90. Okay, we're at 96. So, 97. Who's the one person that gave this a negative? Let's just quick look, and I'll give you my number. Let's look here. Hold on. Oh, God, Grace Randolph. Are we going to watch Grace tonight? I think we are. Who's the person who had the balls to say this is rotten? Because I would have it as rotten. Then you're going to say, why aren't you in Rotten Tomatoes? I used to be, and then Rotten Tomatoes, I'm not even kidding you guys, they were like, well, I don't know anymore. We don't know. Let me tell you why. Because the other critics in this space are a bunch of wannabes. I don't need to be on your stupid-ass Rotten Tomatoes. I am Rotten Tomatoes, bitches. These people all are nothing, man. They're terrible. I'm sorry, it's true. Look at this. Not one person had the balls to say this isn't good. I didn't say it's awful. It's not Beau is Afraid. Hold on. Is there someone? Who is it? Oh, there it is. Jeff York. 2.5 out of 4. One person. Good God. Sucking at the teat of Warner Brothers and of Zach Cregger. When did Zach Cregger become like some kind of vaunted director? Did that happen? Did I miss something here? Because Barbarian was fine. But why are we talking about Zach Cregger like he's some kind of, top tier Denis Villeneuve? Is this now? Is he the new Nolan? Where are we going with this with Zach Cregger? Can someone help me? This is the world we live in now. A world of hype that has no substance. This guy was a comedic writer. He wrote for an improv group. And that's why he has so much comedy in this stuff. But he's getting paid. He got paid $5 million to direct this, plus producing an executive producer, writing fee. So he made a lot of cash on this film. Why is he such a big deal? I don't understand. We act like this is some kind of film that he's making masterpieces. He hasn't made one yet. He's borrowing from other films. What are we talking about here? I'm telling you, man, this space, I can't. Let's find out what Scott Menzel has to say about this. Scotty, it's so good to see you now. A couple of hours after we sat next to each other, we made a vow. Everybody need to listen, please. I made a vow, and Scott, you know this is true. I said, let's not talk about this film. I want to do all the talking on the stream. Okay? Did you catch any of what I said? Because if you did, you can either refute it or you can just give me whatever you have and I can, rebut it. But let's hear what you have to say. Did you hear what I have to say? And do you agree, disagree? Where are you going here?
Not all of it. I heard some of it.
Okay, go ahead. What do you want to say here? Come on, Scotty.
So, Barbarian. I liked Barbarian. This is actually kind of ironic. Erick and I actually saw Barbarian together.
That's right, we did. Well. Yeah, we did.
And we saw it on the Disney lot of all
That's correct.
places.
Yes, we did. That's right.
And I definitely disliked Barbarian more than Erick did.
Yep.
And the whole thing with Barbarian, that this movie, while I'll give this one a little bit of higher score, is that Barbarian just opened with pure ridiculousness. Mm-hmm. Like the whole, let's go to an Airbnb and then, someone's in the Airbnb, but we're going to stay there in the Airbnb. Like that whole thing, in this day and age and common knowledge of serial killers and all the shit what's going on in the world, nobody with any common sense would ever have stayed in that Airbnb. So right off the bat, that movie lost me from there. This movie had kind of the opposite effect, where it really hooked me in the beginning. I was really kind of the dark. It starts off with a black screen, and a little girl's voice comes on. Basically says, this is a true story. You're not going to believe it. If you look it up, there's no information about this anywhere. And I was instantly kind of drawn into this, and that interest lasts for probably, I'll be kind, I'll say probably about 45 minutes.
Yep.
And then
you're giving the same review I gave, by the way.
It started dwindling and dwindling and dwindling.
Yep.
And for me, it kind of started with the cop storyline, where I started losing interest, and then it went into the druggie storyline, which is where it just completely lost me.
Well, and I think that's what we talk about when I was bringing my evaluation here tonight, is that the first two views, right, when you have Julia Gardner's and then Brolin, and even into Alden, how do you say his last name? Whatever. Yeah, the cop. He's three.
Or whatever, yeah.
Yes, a Solo. And then you have the fourth one with the druggie. The druggie should not even be in this movie, right? And I said in my evaluation here that the premise of, missing kids at a school, at a one classroom, that's gold, right? I can work with that. But then what Zach does with that premise and then goes into places he doesn't need to go, it really is one of the bigger, if not the biggest, disappointments this year for me, because when you take the idea and then you actually get the film you get, you're like, oh my God, why? Right? I mean, like I said, if you miss the fix, I have to go back in and almost rewrite the entire film to fix this. It's not like an easy fix.
No, I think the movie really struggles from trying to do too much.
Yes.
Unlike you, I enjoy horror comedies, but when you're telling a story that's supposed to be this dark, I feel like the humor didn't match the tone
100%.
Of what the movie was trying to say in the beginning.
Yes.
And then it just turned into this kind of Little Monster. I don't know if you ever seen that movie, Little Monsters, the zombie movie where all the kids turn into zombies.
I don't think I ever saw that.
It's such a silly, stupid movie that I saw at Sundance a couple of years ago. But it's or Cooties, something like that. It becomes so over the top and ridiculous after a while. And I mean, we were. I'm really just kind of it was so hard. We went out for a drink after the movie, and it was so hard to now talk about this movie.
I know,
because I just wanted to rip it to shreds, because it's so frustrating to watch What
right
was
there.
the point of the rifle? I don't know.
Okay, I gotta say, we did talk about that at the bar. I said that, right? Let's have the AK-47 or whatever the fuck, right? The AR-15 above the house. In the middle of the film, Brolin goes to look, and there's a house, and there's a rifle, automatic rifle comes above, and it says 217 in the middle of the rifle, like a CG. And I'm like, what's going on? Because that's what I thought the film might do, right? Is work on child, shootings, like a Sandy Hook, like really dark, right? These kids were killed in a shooting and the parents have not moved on, right? Listen, honest to God, let me just tell you, what I'm talking about right now is darker and better than the film we get. Isn't that crazy that we're sitting here, I'm talking about working. Now, granted, Sandy Hook's not something anyone wants to relive or even think about, but if we're doing horror, you have to be able to go there. And I don't even know what Zach was even trying to do. Again, dude, tell me this. Just be honest with me. Did you not feel the Hereditary? Dude, it's literally Hereditary when you talk about essentially devil worshiping, the witchcraft, and then you throw in, there was a movie that I don't know if you saw that was A24 called The Front Room. It was terrible from like last year. It has some front room in there. There's front room. I'm like, I don't even know if Zach's writing his own shit. I swear to you, I don't even know. All I can tell you is he definitely lifts from other people. There's no question whatsoever that these ideas are not organic with him. And the thing is for what we're getting out of Zach Cregger, from Barbarian now to this film here tonight, I was talking about this before I brought you on. We are talking about Zach Cregger like he's making great films, and I've got news for you, everybody. He has not made one yet. So what are we doing here with this guy out of nowhere that all of a sudden you want to pretend is the next great horror director? I don't even understand the mindset of what I'm getting because you're not seeing it. Where is this even being, conceptualized by these people?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm seeing someone in the comments here basically saying it's a witch controlling these kids. That's all. Like, okay, that's great. Like, that's fine. But the movie doesn't need to be as long as it is.
Okay, hold on. I said no spoilers, so we got to watch that. But I'm just going to say,
someone said
in
that
the comments.
in the chat.
I'll try not to pop it up. But here's the thing: is that yes, that's what, when you get to the reveal. I was expecting something
but the
like
reveal's lame.
I know it is,
it's not
dude.
Even
That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna do this, make it like Sandy Hook. Make the reveal that the parents all lost the kids and they're still reliving the horrors of that classroom that day over and over in their heads. I know that a lot of you don't like that whole in your head shit, but it's still better than anti-fucking whack job moving in. Dude, this is fucking bad. Oh my God, this script, the fact that Warner Brothers paid this much money for this script is one of the biggest bozo moves in the history of any studio. This is terrible. What are we doing? I need to get the agent who sold this shit to Warner Brothers, Scott. That's who we need. They'll sell anything. We'll have offers coming from all the studios. By the way, Jordan Peele, someone mentioned this, Scott, but Jordan Peele apparently fired his managers because they didn't get the script. Let me tell you, Jordan, if someone wants to clip this and send it to Jordan Peele, Jordan, you fucked up, okay? And your managers were right. And actually Universal, who bid $7 million less for this apparently and didn't get it, they are dodging a bullet here tonight. Even if this thing makes money, I'm telling you what, I can't work. I'm not buying Zach Cregger's next script. There's no fucking chance. I'm not buying it unless I can say you're changing some of this shit. But that's not what happens now, Scott, right? You're so great. Do what you want. You're the chosen one. That's the world we live in now.
Going back to the script of this movie.
Go for it.
So we were, the whole idea that this movie is centered around the teacher and one parent. This is what's really, really wild about this movie.
Just one parent cares about the other 16 kids that are missing.
Yeah, 17 kids are missing, 16 kids, whatever the hell number.
The other parents don't care.
They don't care.
No.
And there's a scene at the end that's even worse because it's like, whoa, what happened here? Like,
Bring Her Back's better.
Oh yes, yes.
And by the way, Bring Her Back, right? Don't cross the line. Remember?
Oh,
Isn't it weird? Remember, if you guys didn't see Bring Her Back, that's been out now. Bring Her Back has the whole thing where Sally Hawkins draws like a salt line or like a chalk line and says, don't cross the line. This film does Don't Cross the Line. Is there like some serious witch shit going on that we don't know about? Does everybody know this thing about not crossing the line? But it's like, why are all these things popping in these movies? And it's after that, again, quickly to movies with Kevin, because he gave us a super chat here, and I think it's very much what we're talking about here. Super disappointed in the film. Enjoyed seeing Brolin in the kids' POV. Humor killed the film. Parts of the score that got on my nerves where it took away the tension. Should have gone darker. Everything. Dude, Kevin, you saw the same film. And the thing is, here's what's going to happen. People are going to come here to MMT like they always do, and they go looking for someone. Who's the one person who said this film is not as great as everyone's saying? And why is it always me? Scott, typically you're right with me. Why is it always we have to battle all of these other people in the space that just want to get attention / quoted / invited to the next studio screening? It's got to be part of it, because how can you miss some of this? Is their taste that bad?
I mean, this is I always, I'm one of the, I know you don't agree with this, Eric, but I stand very strongly on the whole, like, film is an art and art is subjective thing. Yeah. But like, it is weird to me that I can watch a movie like that. Like, that's what I think the problem is that the scores for these movies are just too high. Like, they're just like the last bunch of movies that we have seen. Yeah. The scores are just too high. Like, listen, I liked Fantastic Four enough. Superman is very problematic, but these movies having like 80s and 90s% on Rotten Tomatoes, I think that, again, it continuously shows how broken that system is. Yeah. This needs to be less. Like, these movies should be sitting at somewhere like a 60, 50.
Agree. 100%.
Like, that's the problem. Like, I think that's what it is like, you read all these reactions, and even if you go through them, they don't mandatory make you put a grade, which is also kind of weird to me. Like, should have
a uniform. I think it should be 0 to 10 because it gives you more leeway, right? 4 out of 5 doesn't. You have to go to the halves and stuff. Make it 0 to 10. Like tonight, I gave it a 6.5. I gave it 65. It's a D. That's a D for me because at least I got to say, at least there's one thing positive about this is that I was at least involved going, where are we headed, right? I wasn't so checked out that I'm like, I don't want to be in the theater. That said, where we go is not where I wanted to go, okay? And I don't think it's where we should have gone. And it really gets back to what everyone's saying here in the comments. It should have been darker. And the trailer does not sell this film and the tone that this film ultimately has, even at the end, as we know, when we get to those final frames, it almost turns into 28 years later goofy, right? I mean, the thing is Zach's writing comedy at the end when it should be just about revenge. Instead, you've got, like, the dad going, like, who's running through the house? Hey, honey, did you see that? Like, Zach, dude, what are you doing? Like, listen, let's just call it what it is. Scott, Scott's not endorsing this. I'm going to call it what it is here tonight because I'm not playing around anymore. I'm done with this shit. You, my friend Zach Cregger, are a fraud. You're a fucking fraud. And Scott's not saying this. This is me. I'm telling you right now, Zach Cregger joins the list of film frauds based on what I just watched. This guy does not deserve anywhere near the hype that he has gotten for either of the films he has gotten. Just because he's trying to do different things within the realm of horror, it doesn't work. Just because you throw a bunch of shit into a pot doesn't make you the next god, okay? And that's what we're doing now because the studios are now like, and look, wasn't Zach Cregger mentioned in the studio? Speaking of that, Scott?
Yeah, wasn't he? I think he was.
Like even you got that show's quoting like, oh, Zach Cregger's here for a meeting or whatever, and you're just like, dude, what are we doing? You know, I'm telling you, man, you gotta earn it. And I feel like we live in a world now, and you're mentioning this right here, where you just hear all of this hype and the hyperbole, and rarely is it earned.
Yeah, I mean, we've gotten out of control with this. I don't know. It kind of started, and I don't want to blame Jordan Peele, but I feel like, and it's not his fault. Like he's not the one to blame. But I feel like when Get Out came out, everyone sort of was like, "Oh my God, Jordan Peele is the next, visionary filmmaker. And it started with that, and I would agree, like, Get Out's a very good movie. But then, like, I didn't think that Nope was very good, and I didn't think that the one in between Us was very good. Like, they're fine. Like, they're okay movies. But to me, it's like back in the day, like when Spielberg, right? When you have like a Jaws, an E.T., a Close Encounters, a Schindler's List, a Jurassic Park, like you have to have like a huge sum of movies under your belt to be called a master. Scorsese has earned that title. I mean, we both agree Spielberg has fallen off, but like, you understand when he started
100%.
And like the movies that he originally made, like those are classics. Like those shape cinema. Tarantino in a lot of ways. Some of his movies are rather hit or miss for me, but like, again, he has legacy. I don't understand how someone can have one or two movies and become that. I mean, another director who I think I like more than you is Celine Song, but Celine Song.
No,
also,
I think she's very talented, no question.
But also like the way like everyone overhypes her, like she's a very good, promising, up and coming filmmaker, writer. I would not put her in like this high class like thing that so many people have been doing now.
Well, look, everyone's saying the same thing, the tone, the comedy. So we're not the only ones. But it's weird, again, going back to the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, it's like no one else is saying this. I just don't understand. I'm going to explain. Guys, let me explain what's going on here in this world right now so you guys totally get it. We have a world where anybody can be a quote critic, even if you have no experience, you have nothing you've ever done that is particularly interesting, you have no track record, you have, and essentially, as I talk about, like a batting average, man. What have you done over the past how many years? How many films can I look at and say, did you get this right? Did you get this right? Can I at least see overall snapshot of how you evaluate? Now we just have people that roll up and they're like, hey, guess what? It's Reviewing with John, and here he is, and John starts talking. Like, what makes John? Well, how does John even know what he's talking about? Does John have taste? Is John objective? Is John talented? But now we just have all these people coming in, and we have influencers. Scott, you know this. The studios are literally using influencers for quotes, right? Out of nowhere. It doesn't even matter who's saying it now. You can just say anything from a Twitter account, and they're like, hey, here it is, and this is a masterpiece. And that's the world we live in. You got people like Soups out there, a guy who says that No Way Home is the best movie ever made. I know that we agree. It's a very strong comic book film, and you loved it. But the best movie ever made? Like, dude, what are we doing? But the kid's literally like 20. Like, he doesn't know anything. Like, that's the problem. We have these people who just throw on the king crown, pretending that they know what they're doing, and they don't know shit. And they don't even know how to evaluate a film. They don't have good taste, and we have to suffer because we live in a world now where anybody can say something, and we have to validate it because it's mean if we don't.
Yeah, I mean, the industry's done it to themselves, right? They complain about how many people are in this space, how many critics are in the space, and all this stuff. And, for a very long time, like, I still will fight for, like, the people who earn their stripes or are really doing it properly and trying to climb the ropes. But I feel like now it's just like they just want yes men and women, or, that's all we want now is they want to hear everyone is going to walk into everything and tell them it's the best thing ever since the last thing I watched last week. And it's become very, very demeaning almost. Like you're sort of like you feel like you're crazy when you like read these reactions. I mean, listen, I you didn't see it, so I'm just going to chime in. I saw Freakier Friday earlier this week. Mm-hmm. The movie is completely fine. It is like a 7 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10 for me, like which is sort of like a C- grade. It feels like a Disney Plus film, but I'm reading these reactions and everyone's acting like this movie's so great. Like, oh my God, it's a great movie. Like, I can't believe they did it. Like, it's like, it is not. It is completely fine. It is a movie that literally feels like it belongs on the Disney Channel.
Yeah,
And
that's why I
from
skipped
everything.
it. Scott wanted me to see it on Monday, and I said, I'm going to go home and go for a bike ride. I'm not watching this. I'm not going to watch Freakier Friday. It's not for me. But yeah, exactly. There are people coming out of there like, what's his name? The one dude. There's the brothers. I call them the brothers, right? You got the Davis brothers. And Brandon Davis was like, oh my God, it's the best movie ever. He's another one of these guys, right? There's so many of them in the space. And Ken, to the point here, studios want promotion, not critical analyzing. Of course they don't. They don't even want someone like me near their film, because all I'm going to do is stir up trouble if I don't like it. The average person, if they don't like it, is going to muffle it, and they're going to say, oh, Zach Cregger does some really cool things, and Weapons is another interesting film from him, right? And that means it's not good, but that's them spinning it. I don't do that. I'm like, this is Zach Cregger's a fraud, essentially, here tonight. And that's the thing is no one talks like this in the space. Nobody. Because they're afraid of losing access. They're afraid of pissing off their viewers. Who gives a crap, man? Wouldn't you rather be authentic and have people go, this guy I believe, rather than trying to filter everything through, even the anti-woke people. We talk about this, Scott. You talk about your nerdrotics and your critical drinkers and Gore trying to simp off of them. Sorry. By the way, Scott's not doing this. I'm doing this. But that whole thing is a whole nother thing. You got to filter everything through. Is this what my audience wants to hear? That's another problem, right? So it's just, man, my advice is just be you. And that's why Scott's on here. Because Scott will do this. He'll go here and he'll say things that maybe, isn't what should be said. But we need more of that. Way more of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really saddened by stuff, because I've had a lot of kind of conversations with people, and everyone is sort of upset about the whole, influencer takeover, so to speak. But at the same time, I think we're living in a time where people are so afraid of saying anything negative because you're going to lose access. And I mean, I've been on here before. I've said this. I'll say it again. Like, it happens. I mean, it 100% happens. Like, if you walk out of something and you say that you don't like it, and and they want you to, like, they're banking on it and this is going to be their big movie, it'll impact you. I mean, it will impact you, and it doesn't even matter if you were like 10 movies deep and you said that every movie prior to this movie was great. It's that 11th movie, and that's the movie that they wanted. They don't care. They want you to say it's good. And I mean, I think that's a really difficult place. And I think some of the critics and some of the, entertainment journalists are really kind of noticing that. And I think what it really kind of turns into more than anything is that it's the people who do the crossover. So the people who are kind of critics who also like to do interviews, because that's something like you want the access.
But they're not even critics. But they're not even critics, dude. Let's just be honest. They're not. No, they're not. They're not. Because if you're a critic, you don't hold back to get access to a director or a writer. You're going to say everything you believe, because job, listen, dude, this is all just for shits and giggles, essentially. But your job, quote unquote, is to critique the film, evaluate for me, and there should be nothing that is entering your mind about whether someone appreciates what I have to say, right?
Yeah.
Because if you go into it thinking, like, great example, okay? So tonight, I've gone really hard on Weapons. I just called Zach Cregger a fraud, okay? That's brutal. The producer of Barbarian and this film has watched MMT, might be watching tonight. But here's the deal. I understand that, and I'm not saying that I love talking this way, but I got to be honest with you. I can't have any allegiances. I just can't. And when you do, it's going to affect your overall performance, because you're not going to be saying what you really need to say. So you almost have to be this lone wolf in this space. And most critics just don't have the guts to do that. And that's right, Scott, because the guts means you're not going to get invited by Warner Brothers to whatever the next big film is, because I just called Zach Cregger a fraud. Like that, but I don't care. I've got AMC A-list. It doesn't matter to me. And that's where it changes. As soon as everyone says, I'm not really worried about whether you invite me next time, Warner Brothers. But unfortunately, most people do care. about getting the interview and getting the invite.
Well, yeah. I mean, and that's the problem with everything, right? It's sort of, there was a period of time in this space where you were able to be critical and you would still have those opportunities presented to you. The difference is now is that we already know this. We've talked about this many times too. The industry is on a downward slope right now.
100%.
So right now they're looking for positivity. They're looking for positive word of mouth. They're looking for ways to generate buzz and whatever way is possible for that. And I mean, I'll go on record for this. To me, like, I think it's very problematic. There's a couple sites that you should not have people going and reviewing and quoting movies, okay? Number one is Fandango or Movie Phone or anything, Atom Tickets, any of those things that are selling something, a product.
Erick Davis, Fandango. I mean, I drag him all the time, yes. Mm-hmm.
You can do, don't get me wrong, you could do interviews. You could see the movie early. You could do interviews. But you should not be tweeting out about how it's the great movie.
100%.
You love it, blah, blah, 100%. Blah, blah. Because, again, you're going into a service that's selling a ticket, that you're helping the system.
Yep.
So that, to me, is also, like, a really big problem. And then, you know, again, Rotten Tomatoes, again, I mean, I'm even going to go a little bit further and even say in some cases, but we'll give them credit. So the trades, you know, they separate church and state, which I think is very smart. And I think people need to do this more frequently. So obviously everyone knows the trades are pretty much surviving right now because of the studios. You know, it's like they sign a deal. Every trade signs a deal with Warner Brothers at the beginning of the year. They cover X amount of films. You know, this is going on the cover. This is who's going on the podcast, blah, 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 blah. So, but what's smart about a trade is that they have a lot of people. So they're able to kind of have the person who's doing the interview is different than the person who's reviewing it. So there's a more balanced thing there. But when you go to the, like I said, with the ticket selling stuff or like the person on Rotten Tomatoes, like those are problematic because those are systems in place to sell tickets. And
but
that's
you know,
the job.
You talk about Variety, THR, Deadline, right? You're talking about, there's nobody, Owen Gleiberman, obviously, what's his name? Pete Hammond at Deadline. They don't ever destroy a film. Okay. I'm talking destroy. Okay. Not like me and Beau's Afraid or Babylon or Poor Things or Nora, right? Where I just absolutely obliterated those things. They don't have anybody who's ever done that because if they do, they're going to call from Neon, from A24, from Warner Brothers here tonight. They're going to say, that was too much. We can't do this. I could never do this stream if it was affiliated with THR, Variety, or Deadline. They would never okay that because I'm going to say things that's going to get them a phone call in the morning, an email that says, hey, man, this is too much. I go back to the Babylon reaction. Remember, we were both there and we sat there and we suffered through that thing and I came out and just absolutely obliterated, nuked, just one of the worst things, right? Except for two good scenes, right? Two great scenes, and then the rest of us just literally throw it in the trash. But I got an email in the morning saying, hey, man, we watched your stream last night. We saw it. You broke the embargo. We're not happy. Take it down. And now, granted, I did break the embargo because I talked about the film more than I probably should have because it was like the first screening. But here's the deal, is that you think what would happen if I worked for Variety or THR? I'd get called in by a boss who would say, you know, obviously you broke the embargo. Forget that. You went too hard. Because I remember I called it the worst of Damien Chazelle's career without question. I would get called in the office, and you know that's true. And that's the thing. And Pete Hammond, you talk about shills. Okay, let's talk about people in this space who are nothing but PR factories for the studios. Let's zero in on Pete Hammond. Pete Hammond at Deadline, you, my friend, are one of the biggest shills in this town. I have never seen you destroy a film that is an awards film because that means they can't use the advertising on your spot because Pete Hammond said it was bad. They always have, look, almost every quote from a movie that's even like, they'll find Pete Hammond. He likes everything. I mean, that's the world we live in because these trades are incestuously tied into the studios. And that is the major malfunction. And then you add in the influencers who are tied in because they want access and they want to go to the water park and hang out. That was great the other night. Yeah, Scott, we were talking about that. We did talk about that. We talked about how they invited all of the influencers / they're not critics, all the people to the water park here in Magic Mountain, Hurricane Harbor, and they brought them all there for nobody too, and they bought out the place, they gave them free food and drinks, and they went down the water slides, and they're promoting nobody too. That's the world we live in. People want to get invited to that, and if you didn't get invited to that, you probably were like sad, right? Oh, Universal didn't invite me to Hurricane Harbor, whereas you and I are like, I don't give a crap, I'm glad I don't need to go to that. But these other people are validated by that. When you're validated by these things, there's the problem.
Yeah. No, it's I mean it's a huge issue. I mean, I think everyone feels there's a lot of entitlement in the space, and there's a lot of like this gives me credibility, this kind of validates me. This is a lot of like that's the feeling that I get. And it's weird because I always kind of looked at those whenever I got invited to something like that. It's kind of like a nice perk, right? But if I went to an event and I didn't like it, I would say it. Like, that's just the reality of it. I remember a couple times I went up to Pixar for something, and what was the last one before the pandemic? The
one that was in theaters when the pandemic hit.
Yes.
Onward.
Yeah. Like, I was very mixed on that movie, and I gave it a very kind of middle of the road review. But I know, like, again, those things are sort of usually come with, like, oh, I went to this, like, we have to be nice to this. But it's just really, really difficult. I mean, I don't know if I told everyone the story on here, because Erick and I talk about this all the time, is that, when I was quoted for No Way Home, right after I was quoted for No Way Home, I immediately got invited.
This is true. I'll let you finish your story, and then I'm going to go. I'll talk about this because this is fair.
So I immediately got invited to almost every Marvel movie, like a premiere, like the big premieres, and everything. Yeah. And on Hollywood Boulevard. Those are really fun. Like those can be fun. Like if you're into the movies, especially if like you're really into it, that could be a good time. But unfortunately, it was like, after No Way Home, as everyone knows, it was sort of the shit fest of Marvel right afterwards. It was the Eternals and Quantumania and Thor, whatever the hell that fucking
Ant-Man
thing
3.
was. Oh my God.
Listen, I defend both those films for being as goofy as they are.
That were just not good. And, and you get 3 of them under a row, and you kind of have them, and they're seeing your reaction out of the premiere. And they're going like, this guy's not coming back. He's not coming back.
Well, exactly. No, you're off the list. You're blacklisted, right? You're blackballed. Okay, look here. This is Superior Nav. Agreed. Listen, we just talked about this. I go after Nerdrotic, Critical Drinker, Gore. Listen. Gore's channel, Film Threat, had no views. Nobody was paying attention. As soon as Chris started leaning into the anti-woke shit, people started paying attention. Now, listen, this isn't Scott talking. This is just me. In fact, I'm going to take Scott off for once. You're still here, Scott. So it's just me, so Scott doesn't get in trouble, because I know he still talks to Chris. Gore is one of the worst critics in this space, without question. I think he's an absolute train wreck of a critic, and I think his whole channel has no credibility whatsoever, because when you look at what Gore did, he leaned into the, hey man, I'm going to be the anti-woke guy. And the thing is once you lean into that and you make everything filter through that one lens, right? My viewers want to watch only when I say something's terrible because we did a gender swap. And even if it works, like a Furiosa, which I think is a great film. I think it's better than Mad Max Fury Road. I really do. But if I were Gore or Nerdrotic or Critical Drinker, I'd have to filter it through, this is awful because it's a girl boss, right? Instantly, even if I don't believe that, I have to say that because my audience is going to go, what? You said that Furiosa's fucking really good, man. That's the thing. I never want to be in that place. I don't want to ever be where I'm expected to say this. Like, in response, you have to say this, or the audience. Too bad, man. I don't even know what I'm going to say. You know, Scott, when we sat next to each other today, I wanted it to work. You wanted it to work. We both wanted to watch a great film. We didn't love it, okay? But I have never had this stream ready to go before I watched a movie. It's never happened once because I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not trying to say that it's too woke or it's not woke enough or whatever that may be. You're just watching the film. Does it work? Period. Forget about all the politics and bringing in all of these agendas. I think you got to just leave that out. And you don't do that, and I don't do that. But very few people in the space do not do that. So yes, this is fair. I talk about it all the time. Superior, welcome to the channel. Because I'll do this all the time. It's not a one-way street of the shills. It's also the anti-woke people. I don't trust any of them. Okay, there's very few people, and Scott knows we've talked about this. I don't even know if I could name 10 people in this space who are very good and I think reliable, objective, and talented and fearless. That's very hard. I mean, Scott, can you even think? Give me one. Give me one person that you think is all of those things. And I mean right 85, 90% of the time. I mean, other than me. No, but you say this. You've said this. You go, even if you don't agree with me, you go, your points are valid. Come on. Oh, yeah, Kenny. Actually, Ken, I give you credit. I'm going to give Ken. I don't think you know Ken Murray, but Kenny Murray is one of my buddies from Boston. Ken, I wish you were here in L.A., man. We would all get a beer and we would hang out. You'd be perfect, okay, because you would fit in. Ken is Gen X, right? And you're quasi-Gen X, Scott. So you have to be, I think Gen X is the perfect sweet spot because we have no allegiances to anybody. So it makes us really good. That said, some of the anti-wokers are Gen X too. So, but again, it's an act. So I'm still waiting for Scott to come up with somebody. He's like, I don't know.
You know, it's
Sully. Okay, Sully. Yeah, most of the time, but Sully, sometimes you've really missed, buddy. He's like
Ken the legend. He's like Ken's the legend.
No, he's a Boston guy too. Sully is. Sully wasn't there when I was there.
This is an interesting question because like I feel like 5 years ago I would be able to like rattle off like a bunch of names.
Okay.
I mean, she doesn't like really write reviews, but my friend Mara is like usually pretty like spot on about most things. Like, and she says she works for like Us Weekly.
Okay. Oh, right. You said that.
Like
you mentioned that. Yeah.
She's more like kind of does like features and interviews, but we usually text each other at film festivals, and like 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10, we're kind of like on the same page.
Yeah. Well, you and I usually are, except for the whale.
And I don't need people to be on the same page with me either. No. But I feel like there's too many people now who, again, I think it's like a lot of groupthink, and I think that's the problem. I don't know. Listen, I mean, I know I'm not saying that I think Mendelsohn doesn't have the greatest takes on things.
No, but he's fearless.
But I really appreciate the fact that he doesn't go out and he's not afraid to say like when he doesn't like something.
Correct.
So I think that's what actually makes I think that's what makes a critic better, even if you're wrong. And again, take that as you will. I just think the people who are actually like kind of go for it and aren't afraid to say things. And I mean, Mendelsohn's been at premieres with me where him and I are the only ones who like went hard on a film walking out of it.
But the thing about Scott, and I like Scott. Scott's a nice guy, one of the few guys I can say that about in the space. But I will tell you that sometimes he just misses. Like, it's like, dude, what film did you watch? Like, I don't even know where you're going. Like, did he say like Maverick? Maverick wasn't good.
I mean, he has a very particular. I mean, he didn't like Flash. He didn't like Maverick.
I like Flash. Can we just talk quickly about Flash? Flash is a good. Just quickly,
we
am I right?
About Flash every time I come on.
First of all, Flash is better than Superman. Yes. There's not even a contest. Yo, you're crazy. You don't think Flash is better
Flash
than
is
Superman?
better than Fantastic Four too.
I would agree. I would absolutely agree. And I like Fantastic Four. Flash is solid, dude. I'm sorry. I don't know where that came from. Everyone decided all of a sudden Flash was terrible. Not true. 100% not true. Real quickly, if you're just joining in here, let me just go over my points on the film. If you're watching for the first, just join us. Hey, we've been going on for almost an hour here. Resetting our evaluation here tonight, weapons. We'll just get back into it quickly on that, and I'll get Scott's take. Here are my takes on the film quickly. The premise I love, right? The missing kids, Scott. We can both agree that the idea, the genesis of this movie, and a classroom of 17 kids that goes off wandering in the middle of the night, and everyone's looking for them. Great. Love it. Intriguing screenplay, that whole idea, and it keeps you, I think, interested throughout. The problem is that it's overpopulated. It's overly complex. You're telling it through the different POVs instead of just doing it linear fashion. And get rid of the drug dealer character. He's gone. We've got to extract him because that's the humor that lessens the tension throughout. And then you have the hereditary theft with Auntie who comes and moves in, which is very much in the same vein of Hereditary and a really terrible movie from last year called The Front Room, A24. There's a lot of vibes here that feel familiar, and that's an issue. I gave it a 65%. And the way you fix it, you've got to streamline this screenplay. You got to bring it in tighter. We both mentioned at 2 hours and 5 minutes, it's too long. It needs to come in at 145, 150. And if you make it linear, if you get rid of the drug dealer character, that's one whole POV you scratch. You just rip it out. I'm telling you, that's already 150, 155. Better film, but you've got to go in and get rid of so much humor. But that's what Zach Cregger does, right? We talked about that. Zach Cregger came from a world of improv and comedy groups, kind of like Jordan Peele. And let's just talk quickly about that. You mentioned Jordan Peele, because Jordan Peele loved this film. He wanted to buy it, and Universal didn't get it. Apparently, Jordan Peele fired his manager. He is pissed. Well, let me tell you something. They got it right, okay? No question about it. But Peele, you talk about a guy who tries to do too much. You go back to Nope. Okay, go look at Gordy. We've talked about Gordy incessantly on this channel, and we're bringing it back here years later. Gordy, the idea is interesting, and all of a sudden you've got this chimp who goes crazy on the set of the sitcom that you have one of the characters that's in the film work on. But it doesn't really fit into the film. It sort of does, but it doesn't really. But that's what we do here, right? Zach Cregger, the same thing. He's pushing and inserting things into the film that don't really need to be there because he wants you to say, oh, that's interesting. I never thought that we'd kind of go here or go here. And I don't believe that always works. And when it doesn't work here with this film, you end up with a film that is extremely frustrating, one of the biggest disappointments of 2025.
Yes. I would also add that the film thinks it's way smarter than it actually is. Mm-hmm. I mean, that whole thing in the beginning of the movie, again, this isn't really much of a spoiler, but Julia Gardner has her car written on.
Yes.
And it says witch. And like that's
yes.
like kind of like this whole idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then it like plays into that later.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when it happens, it's not like, oh my God, wow.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing,
no,
there's nothing even remotely about it where you're kind of like, wow, this is surprising in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it's trying to be Magnolia. I mean, and listen, and that's the thing. Again, just because you're doing more and structuring it differently and not the usual way doesn't mean it's good. I think that's one of the issues that we have also in the space. People just go, oh, well, it's unique, therefore it's good. It still has to work, okay? I don't even care how ambitious you are and what else throw into your screenplay that shouldn't really be there in a horror film. If it doesn't all work, then what are we doing? I mean, you go back, you look at Alden's character in this, the policeman, right? And at the end, how his character is dealt with, that's not even good. I mean, and listen, Zach Cregger wrote this, to my knowledge, all by himself, right? He's the writer-director. I don't think he had any help. Maybe someone looked at it, but in general, it's him. This is the other problem we have, Scott. Wrote a script, and you know who, I haven't really talked about that, but you know who I wrote it with. When we wrote the script, we worked off each other, where I had my stuff and he had his stuff, and we agreed in the middle, and I think it came up with the best possible version. I think the issue here is when you're working by yourself, you need to, as a writer, you need to have someone else to bounce ideas off of, and someone who's your yin to your yang, right? You need to have someone who will balance you out. And Zach Cregger does not have that person, because if he did, some of this stuff would disappear from the film because they would have good taste. And I talk about directors all the time, Scott. You need to have somebody in your camp who is fearless, who's going to tell you this isn't working, you need to change this, you got to do this. And the problem is we have a bunch of yes men in this town who say everything you do is great, and Zach Cregger's been anointed the new god of cinema, and I don't know where it came from, but that crown has to be stripped off his head. It's not, he does not earn it. He has not earned this thing. And this is 2 films. And are we pretending? I mean, I'm not, listen, let's talk about, go back to a Damien Chazelle. I just ripped on him for Babylon, right? At least Damien Chazelle has whiplash, okay? At least he has whiplash. Last I checked, Zach Cregger has nothing. He doesn't have one film you can lean on. So what are we doing here? What are we? Is there a mystery Zach Cregger film that I don't know about? Because we're acting like there's a film that's there that's not when we talk about Zach Cregger.
But I think people sometimes forget nowadays. They feel like the love that a filmmaker has towards movies, right? Like when you watch this movie, you can feel there's some Prisoners in here, there's some Hereditary in here, there's some Shining in here, there's some Night of the Living Dead in here. It feels very much like a movie made by a movie lover, right? Like someone who like literally has a good understanding for film history or like watches a lot of movies. But I think people misinterpret that as like they're good at making their own film. And that's where I think where my problem lies is that you and I are very different. I mean, I think we would agree that script is probably one of the strongest components. But for me, script is number one. Like if I'm not connected to the script and the story and the characters, then, most of the times the movie's not going to work for me. I have to have something to latch on to. And that's kind of what happened with this movie was like in the beginning, the premise is really positive and I'm really like kind of like leaning into this. I'm kind of like, this is going to be good. And, and then as time goes on and it just becomes a mashup of all these other movies, with like some weird symbolic stuff happening in the movie that, again, I think it pretends to be smarter than it actually is. And that's really what my problem is with the movie is that there's no point in this movie where I go, wow, or I go, I feel this blow away moment in this movie. There's not even really any scares that like really surprise me. There's not any.
No, there's not one scare. There's not one scare. Okay, let's talk about that. Someone's like, "There's what? A jump scare where all of a sudden some scary face is on the ceiling? That's cheap. Okay, that's not good. There's no menace to this film. Nothing. Even Auntie Crazy Ass. Okay, she's goofy. It's like, that's not even scary. Like, none of this, dude. It's because there's too much comedy, and he didn't write it as dark and depressing as it should be. And even the beginning of this film, right? We've all seen the trailer. I could watch it again right now. Where he has the voiceover and it tells you the entire film. 17 kids went missing at 2:17 in the morning, okay? Fine. But the film opens like that with the narration and it's real condensed. And then all of a sudden it's already happened, right? Why don't we build to it? Why don't you let her, again, if you do it linearly, God, that's hard to say. Linearly, guess what you're going to do? You're going to be able to tell it from that first moment. You're going to be able to get that to be longer and get you into the film rather than already telling you what's happened, right? But because he tells it through the different POVs, 5 of them, if I'm not mistaken, right? 5, that is the issue that you already get over the fact the kids are missing. I think that we should almost roll into that as part of the story more. So I'm telling you, dude, Scott, I've got to go in and rewrite this thing. I got to go in and rewrite almost all of it.
Because the whole movie fails. Because the more you think about it, I guarantee you, the more you think about this movie, the more you're going to dislike it. Because you sit there and you have this whole buildup, right? Like it's like, okay, the movie opens, the kids go missing, right? You have one freaking scene where like parents are outraged and they're in there, but then it's like nobody's talking about the kids. No one is talking about the kids at all throughout this movie, except for James Brolin's character.
No,
it's so weird. We have an entire movie about kids going missing, and no one cares about the kids other than James Brolin.
Well, the principal cares that the one kid who's left, let's let him have a normal life, but he doesn't talk about this.
Yeah,
I know. There's no
really
urgency to find the kids. I know.
There's no urgency.
Remember,
and
even
then we're worried about this kid, this woman who's like this teacher who's like looking after this kid. And again, why isn't there someone protecting her? Like, there's all this rage and hatred towards her in the beginning, yet she's wandering the streets at all times. And even her thing's kind of creepy, right? Like, she's sitting there, like, going around, like, staring at the kid, like, going to the house,
looking in the house.
It's like, what's going on here?
Can we just talk quickly? Okay, so there's a moment, it's in the trailer, where she goes to the kid's house, and then she looks in the window and sees, some shit in there. And then she goes, "Oh my God!" And then she trips on the rake and shit, and she goes away. And then she goes and looks again in the window. Would anybody ever do that in the history? Like, when I watch that, if you look in a window and you see something, you're gonna run. She's running out of there. Why is she going back and looking in the window again to say, "Are those creepy people still on the couch?" Like, I know this is like a little thing, but things like that drive me crazy. That's not a natural reaction. Why is she even digging around behind their house? Like, she's gonna get arrested. She was already told stay away from the kid, and she's behind the house snooping around looking inside the windows. It's not well written, dude. Not well written.
Also, like, why didn't she call the cops at that point? She's also friends with the cop.
Yeah.
Right? Or she has like this whole
child endangerment.
She has this whole storyline with this cop.
Oh my God,
like,
that whole thing. What a waste.
She just call him up and just be like, "Yo, I'm at this house right now. It's like, you should come over and see what's going on."
Dude, I'm telling you, you're right. I don't even know if I can do much. I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to start yelling even more than I did at the beginning of the stream. It's
so generically written, and it's like, and I gotta say, you keep bringing up the chapter point, and I'll go after this. But the chapter point, it takes a very skilled filmmaker, to handle chapters.
Yes.
Because chapters
and
drag out movies.
Chapters
Holy
and tone.
shit. Because like, you're sitting there, unless you know how many chapters there are, you're sitting there and you're going like, "Susie." I'm like, okay, Susie's up now. And then you're like, "John." And then you're like, okay, who's the next one? Marcus. And you're sitting there and you're just going like, how many more names are there? Or how many more chapters? Like, it does not work. Like, you really have to be a very talented filmmaker, and you have to craft that out so it's very intriguing in order to do chapters. So many people do this, and I hate it. It's one of my biggest pet peeves in movies is where they break things into chapters, because it really drags the fucking movie out for me.
Oh, 100%. And look here, by the way, everybody says it's great except for us. There's one there. Bibiani's one. There's two people.
I know. I was very surprised.
He's a horror guy. Well, good for him. He got one right. He misses often. But look, everybody else, 4 out of 5, 8.5 out of 10. Anyone give it a 10 out of 10? There's a 4.5 out of 5 again from NerdBot. How many nerd fucking channels are there? 4 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 4 out of 5. A 10 out of 10. Ray Pride of New City. 10 out of 10. These people are not serious. 4 out of 5. There's 3 out of. I can tolerate 3 out of 5. I can tolerate 7 out of 10. So I gave it 6.5 because that's a D for me. But right, these 10 out of 10s and A's and all this. Oh my God. Oh, this guy Rodrigo Perez. This guy. Talk about a chin strokey knob. This guy right here. There's a bunch of them. There's the other. Sam Adams is another one. That guy. And Bilge, what's his name for the New Yorker? He's another one. There's so many of them in this space that are just... The funny thing is, they're so pretentious and so wrong. Like, that's the worst combination. How can you be that... Like, if you're pretentious, you better be right all the time. They're wrong. And that's objectively terrible. All right, Scott, I'm gonna watch Grace Randolph, and I know you don't want to do because you like Grace.
This is your favorite time of night.
This is my segment. I'm gonna watch Grace, but I want to thank you for coming on tonight because it's really fun. We need to do this more often because if you go to see the movie with me on a Thursday, we can do this right afterward. But if you go to see it on Monday, then I can't do it because I'm not going with you. And then right, I'm not going to drive across town to see these movies and then be told that I can't come because I'm not acceptable to the studio. So let's just watch them on Thursday. See, did you miss anything by seeing it tonight versus Monday?
No.
Then there you go.
No.
Then there's your answer, everybody. If you want Scott to come back and debate, and sooner or later we're going to have a film that we totally don't agree on, then he needs to come see these movies on Thursday. Because if he doesn't,
award season's coming up.
that's right.
In a month
Well,
from
you're
now,
going to see. You're going to see everything. You're way ahead of me. I'll be way behind. But I have no problem doing it at some point, talking about a film that we totally disagree on. Let's do that. Everybody, round of applause for my good friend Scott Menzel here tonight. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you. And let's do it again soon. Honestly, right. I mean that. Thank you, sir. You're the man. Scott's awesome. He's the only real MMT approved critic that we have. Let's watch some. You guys want to do Grace Randolph? Here it comes. Get ready.
In any style.
Weber watches Randolph. We all know, what has she done? What has she done? She has mascara on her eye. Let's watch some Grace Randolph. I'll stop her where she's wrong. Every time she misses, I will stop the stream.
What a deeply disturbing movie.
Nope.
Like,
no,
I don't know.
No, the idea is disturbing, not the actual end result.
I'd call it entertaining, but it's certainly effective. And
is she insane? Is that fair? Is that being too mean? I think Grace Randolph is like a little off. Like she's a little bit not all there, right? Can we all agree on that? Like she's sort of cogent, but then also sort of insane.
Inspiring. I mean, this is my ode, my homage to Amy Madigan's look in the movie.
Oh, God, that's right. But that doesn't even look like her. I mean, it sort of does. But actually, Grace looks pretty good here. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Grace Randolph's kind of hot like this. I think she should go on every stream looking like this. Don't you guys read into that I'm trying to, like, slide into Grace Randolph's DMs. Don't do that shit. Don't do it. I will bounce you out of here.
You're not going to forget it. I certainly haven't. And I guess any movie that inspires me to dress up is pretty good. If you haven't seen the movie yet, stay out of the comments section. Oh, I don't.
She's reading a teleprompter again, guys. See the eyes to the left? She's reading. It's fine. I want to point it out because I don't do any of that. When I'm looking here, guys, just so you know, let me just make myself big. Whenever I'm looking over here like I was with Scott, right? I'm looking at my computer. Do you see? That's what I'm doing. I'm looking at the screen. There's no teleprompter in front of me. Back to Grace Randolph. Just so you guys know, disclosure, I don't read a teleprompter. You can clearly tell that.
I want it spoiled for you. And probably stay off the internet too, because Weapons is already trending top 10. In fact, last I checked, it was trending top 5.
My God, it is. Is it still top 5? Let's go check in a second.
I'm going to touch on a few spoilery things at the end of this video. Things that we just have to talk about. I mean, that's one thing this movie definitely has going for it. When you get out, you're like, we got to talk about that. But I'm not going to tell you everything that happens in the movie.
Thank you, Grace. Hold on, just real quickly. Is it? Look, it's right there. It is trending on Twitter. Well, it's right in front of us. I don't know if it's trending. They're paying for it to trend. See, promoted by Warner Brothers. Let's click on it and see what happens when we do that. Oh, it's Fandango. I don't want tickets. Let me see. Is there anything else? No, it's not trending top 5 that I can see. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on, guys. Let's just find out if she's right. Raiders is number 1. Tanner McGee. Colts, Alyssa. Weapons is 5. Grace is right. Weapons is 5. No wonder we have nearly 500 people on the stream here from X alone tonight. Over 500 with all the other streaming options you have, YouTube and Twitch. Wow. Okay, this is a big film. I told you guys it's got a lot of shit going for it right now. There's no question about it. Let's watch a little bit more of Grace and less of me because the channel's better when Grace is on. I'm not going to lie to you. I know that. Grace is the gold standard, not us.
Like a regular spoiler review, because I think you should go see it. Where would the fun in that be? Let's maintain the secrecy.
Okay.
So, the second half.
My beginning's way better than this, by the way. And she's not live. I can't go back in time, but actually I can. I can actually go watch the game, the stream on YouTube if you want me to. No, I'm not. But it was better. I'm quick to the draw. I mean, I had a song playing, but other than that, it's like, get it out. I like this film. I don't like this film. Like, she's just like blabbering.
This movie is like so batshit crazy that my audience, which had been very well behaved up until that point, I mean, this was a premium IMAX screening. People paid to be there.
No reason to see this film in IMAX, by the way. 0. Zero reason. It's not shot in IMAX. It is actually going to play better in a small, intimate kind of film, like a theater. Like tonight, I saw it at the 8, which is small. It has recliners. It's 2 hours and 8 minutes. I want to sit in a recliner. I don't want to sit in a plush rocker.
They couldn't take it anymore. They started yelling at the screen.
Yeah, because they were laughing. That's why they were yelling, Grace.
It started with one person, but it quickly spread to the rest of the audience.
It spread like wildfire. Because they're laughing at how goofy this film is at times.
Because it was just madness what we were seeing on screen. There was one moment where we actually applauded. I applauded.
Why
as well.
is he talking about the audience instead of the actual film? Let me get.
I have the same experience. I hope your people are in your theater. You might be like, I might as well be watching
she
it at
is
home by
3 minutes in and she's still talking about her audience.
myself. But movie.
Same old phone?
Nah, crap. I got to sit through a phone
Upgrade
ad.
to the new Galaxy
Damn it,
Z
Grace
Fold 7.
Randolph, you have too many subscribers and too many people you make me sit through. What's this ad? What's this free?
Now
Is
spooning
it
everywhere.
kiwi? I'm not buying any kiwis. Wrong
But in
ad
fact,
for me.
and on that note, they are the least interesting part of the film. I mean, I like Julia Garner a lot. I like her a lot, but her role just
She's okay. Listen, we didn't really talk about Julia Garner. Julia Garner plays Julia Garner in every movie. Actors usually do a version of themselves. Brolin here, same thing. But Garner, if you go back to Ozark, one of the few shows I've watched to completion, the entire thing, way better at the beginning. The end of that is not, man, what a really terrible way to handle the end of that. The way they did her character. But she does her. Wolfman, she did her. Ozark, her. Here, tonight, her. She does the same thing, right? She blinks her eyes. And then she bites her lip. Like one of the two. She's going to blink her eyes a lot or she's going to bite her lip. I remember her back from Mary, Marlene, Magdalene, the one movie I talked to Elizabeth Olsen about. That was the night Elizabeth Olsen was hitting on me. I'm telling you guys, don't make me tell the story again for all you just joining tonight. Elizabeth Olsen was super into MMT. No question about it. None.
isn't as interesting as the other characters in the film. It's only once we get away from them that I felt that the movie really started to pick up. Maybe because also they were
She's totally wrong. Because they're the most connected to the actual story of the missing kids. What is she doing? I can't do much more of this.
Not like the leading lady.
She's still talking
just
about
a
Julia
regular
Garner.
person,
We're 11 minutes
which
in.
Two clues.
Spoilers. Let's get a wrap. Let's get to the wrap. This is
The look
boring.
on
This is
in the
awful.
United States, particularly, and across
Conclusion.
it all, but
Conclusion.
I think it deserves. So yeah,
Here we go.
I had a tough time with this movie, but it's certainly an experience I'll never forget. I mean, look at the reaction it elicited out of me.
She's not all there. She's just not. I don't care what you guys say. She's definitely not 100% of mental faculty.
I mean, that says a lot right there, right? The movie is very well made, and I think it gets a visceral reaction from its audience, and I think it deserves credit for that. Could it be a little scarier? Sure could. Could it have a better constructed mystery that holds up together and a little more expert? It's got a lot of holes. The mystery has a lot of holes, for sure. Definitely could have been better.
How about the comedy, Grace? Why don't you talk about the real problem?
In that regard. But it has a great hook. It has some amazing visuals. The setup knocked it out of the park in that regard.
Well, of course. We talked about that. So I said the premise is fucking great. The problem is the movie isn't.
It's certainly unique with a villain that just really makes an impression.
Okay. That's it. I'm not watching any more Grace Randolph. Someone want me to watch the Shelby Oaks trailer. Should I do it now or Sunday? I'll do it now for those of you. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I will. I'll do it. Any comments, Gone Girl, hit them. I'll do it. Let's do Shelby Oaks. I've not watched this first time. This is Chris Stuckman's debut. This thing was reshot. Well, not reshot, but there was a bunch of scenes added because apparently the movie wasn't very good. So they went in and made it gorier and stuff. I don't no idea what I'm about to watch. I swear to you, I have not watched the Shelby Oaks trailer. It sounds like a subdivision in my hometown of Columbus, Ohio. This is Shelby Oaks, the live trailer reaction here on MMT. Thanks for being here on this Thursday night. Let's do it. Here we go. Let me find the right thing. Before I start, I've got to make sure that the lower third says trailer reaction. Help me out, Gone Girl. Can you find it? I can't do it without it saying below. I got it. I got it before you. I got it. Here we go. Ready, get set. Shelby Oaks.
Do you need help?
She finally let me go.
Oh, I like that shot. Okay, I'm down for that. It looks good. By the way, that's probably one of the added scenes. Apparently, they went back in with Mike Flanagan and Neon Neon bought this, right? And it screened at a couple of festivals and no one was really excited. So they went back in and added some blood and guts that they didn't have before because of the budget. But once Neon bought it, I think Flanagan helped out. So I think this is probably one of those things because that's a good looking scene right there. I like this. It doesn't look good from an aesthetic level, right? I don't think he shot it on film. It looks like it was shot on an iPhone. That's the first thing I'm going to say right now, what I'm seeing. By the way, I thought that was a DAT. You guys remember digital audio tape? It was around for like 6 months. I'm showing my age right now. There was cassettes, then there was DAT and CD, I think at the same time. It looked like a DAT.
Welcome back to the Paranormal Paranoids. Today we're taking our first foray into the abandoned town of Shelby Oaks.
This is probably added too because there's blood. Apparently there wasn't enough blood in the original version.
I've been searching for Riley for the last 12 years. I know my sister's not dead.
It's another missing person / kid story. Yeah, let's get Mike Flanagan up there. That's what I'm saying. As soon as Neon bought it, they're like, we got to punch this up. Mike Flanagan, can we throw your name on the screen? Yeah, we'll do that.
Bodies were found outside of Shelby Oaks. Riley Brennan is still missing.
The last night I saw her, she said she saw a man standing in her window.
It looks like every horror movie I've seen in the past, 5 years, right? It's like a version of Tarot or any of the garbage Blumhouse things I've sat through. This looks like very nondescript. Nothing I'm seeing looks original here. But let's continue. I'm just going as I, see it.
At her.
What the hell is I for film? Do you see this? What I'm talking about, right? These quotes are generated from anybody. What the hell is I for film? Let me Google I for film. Give me a second. I for film. Give me a second. Let's have a look here. Here it is. Hold on. It's actually a thing. I for film. Okay, look, it's a really crappy looking website. Good Lord. Is this this looks like it's from the web from 1978. No, what year is the web? 1997. Sorry. Look. Showing my age. Look, what is this? I for film. Oh, they're on Blue Sky. Well, that explains a lot. Okay, there's I for film. Let's go back and watch the thing. There's I for film.
Yeah.
Who's this? Slash film. Okay. By the way, okay, we'll talk after.
You live alone out here?
This is totally what's it called? The found footage movie, Out in the Woods. Oh my God, literally that film that I totally forgot the name of it right now. It's the same thing.
Nope. Where is my sister? Riley.
No, that's just, man, that looks like something I'd find at Redbox, right? Hey, look what's new at Redbox, Shelby Oaks. And you'd be like, fuck that movie. I'm passing on that. I'm getting anything but that. What the hell? It's a terrible name, right? You know what we're going to have? We're going to have a bunch of glazers out there going, oh my God, Chris Stuckman's the best. He's the coolest YouTuber. Therefore, the movie's great. Because that's what we do. Instead of actually evaluating the film, we take into account whoever directed it. Who cares? I don't care. Does it work or not? I mean, listen, when I went in tonight watching Weapons, I didn't go in saying, Zach Cregger. I just went, let's watch the film. Show me. Every time. If you're a director, you don't get an advantage because you've made 3 good films before. When I went into Babylon, of course I was stoked because Whiplash, even Family Guy, Family Man. It's so forgettable, but I like the direction. But right, I still was like, okay, let's see what you got this time. Right? I talk about it here on the stream. Okay, so I do the stream, and it's me, and it's typically just me. Okay, tonight Menzel helped out. That's why we're on an hour and a half now, essentially. Is sometimes it's going to be okay, sometimes it's going to be whatever, and sometimes it'll be sort of okay. But listen, every time I got to prove myself. If you come on here, and I am really terrible, right? Everything's bad, and the whole thing just doesn't work, which I could argue is every other time. But you would then, if you were watching, say, this isn't good. This guy's bad. I can't believe this even dude live streams. But the fact that you're watching and you go, holy shit, this guy's okay. I think he's got some good points and he's not as bad as film Twitter makes him out to be. That's all there. But I don't expect you to base what you're watching right at this moment on last Sunday, or the following, or the preceding Thursday, or the last evaluation, whatever it is. I mean, it's always now. So you're only judged on now. You're not judged on the past. I can't be judged on the future yet. So why would I go into any film saying that this is good because the director's good or because Chris Stuckman's a good guy, I like it, so therefore it's got to be good? It doesn't make sense. I don't understand why people even have that mentality, because you shouldn't have a preference for anything until you actually see the film. And then you can break it down and talk about it. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense, guys. It really doesn't. Let's see. Any other comments here? I'm going to look for, if you saw the film, hit me with it. Gone Girl, anyone who saw the film who wants to comment whether they agree or disagree. I got a bunch of them on earlier. First Man's better than Ad Astra, and that's no, dude. First of all, Gone Girl, I'm gonna bounce you for putting your own comment in. No way in hell. Ad Astra is a great film. Okay, it really is. I mean, the ending's not, but cinematography, score, and the mood. Okay, the mood of Ad Astra, other than the bonker gorilla or slash baboon in space, that was weird. Okay, but the mood, that's a mood film, right? And that score is unbelievable. Wanted to love Weapons so bad it got crushed walking out. People need to learn to listen to their gut. Listen, I really was afraid of that. We talked about that, Cameron, that I was afraid going into this that it wasn't going to equal the hype. And that's exactly what we got again tonight. And it's just repeated, man. It just is happening so frequently that I'm starting to lose faith in any of these reactions because I don't trust any of them. I mean, we talked about it with Scott. There's a handful of people that I trust in this space, and it's like literally a handful, like 5. I don't even know if I can rattle off 5 that I really trust. I mean, Naked Gun was another film that I was told, well, you're going to laugh your ass off throughout the entire thing. And you're like, wait, well, there's a couple of good scenes and there's some decent jokes, but overall, I mean, I gave it like a C+. But if you listen to the online hype, you're thinking that Weapons or Naked Gun is the best film that's ever been made, and that's the issue. We really have to temper things now, and we don't have people like that. We have 2 people in the space who just love to throw out all of the platitudes and get completely hyperbolic about things, and that's just unfortunate because you pay the price because you go in expecting these things to change your life, right? Like we were told by Zach Pope. Remember when we watched Zach? And Zach was like, if you are having a bad day or something terrible's happened to you and you're depressed, just go watch Naked Gun and everything will be better. We're like, really? Wow, that's pretty amazing. So it cures anything that's wrong in your life. Like, this is the kind of stuff we're dealing with. And, it's just, this is why you go into these films and you come out and you're like, who is sane? Other than me, there's no one. There's very few. There's just isn't. So I'm sorry. I can't tell you that there's more people I can recommend you watch. I can't. If I could, then I would. But there's just, it's just really hard to find. Can we watch The Lake from Zodiac? No, yes, maybe on Sunday. I don't want to do it tonight. Well, I can watch one more thing. Let me see what I want to watch. Give me a second. Let's look. Hold on. Let me just dig to YouTube and we'll see what we can find here. Give me a second. Let me click on this and you guys can see. Oh, hold on. Give me a second. I got it back. I have to show. This is the point of the show where I was just randomly hitting buttons. Oh no, it's deep focus lens. Oh my God. Do we want to watch Deep Focus Lens, who has, look, hey, everybody, Deep Focus Lens has way more views than us already. That's for sure. And she also has a midriff. She's showing off her midriff tonight, guys. Do you want to watch some Deep Focus Lens? I know Coach does. 5, 7, and 9. By the way, guess how many simps there are for Deep Focus Lens? Don't be a simp for her. You are. Look, if I came out here with a midriff and shit, you'll be like, I'd have 92,000 subscribers. But I don't have 92,000 subscribers. I'm not wearing a midriff. I'm not exposing my belly. I am not a sex symbol. Well, I mean, yeah. But no, I'm not. I'm not an object. You know that's what's happening, but let's listen to her. Because some of you are like, she's cute. Look, she already has way more likes than us. Let's listen to what she has to say.
Hey everybody, today I am going to be reviewing Weapons. This was directed by Zach Cregger. This is Cregger's second feature-length film after the surprise horror sleeper hit, Barbarian, which came out in 2002, a movie that I
feel like I'm listening to a Wikipedia article.
Absolutely adore. I've seen it many times. It's one of those comfort movies I like to play like in the background, and I love to show.
Oh yeah, that's one of my comfort movies. Barbarian. You know, if you asked me what's my comfort movie, I would honestly tell you, I would probably list off 10,000 films before I got to Barbarian. You know, it'd be number one would be Paris. God, the Woody Allen Paris one. I'm literally forgetting the name of it. I love that film. Okay, I know it's Woody Allen. You guys hate it. That film is just magical. I will watch that film anytime. It's just the mood, right, of that film. Midnight in Paris. Thank you. It took me a second. I'm like, Paris, right? Okay, not Barbarian. But let's continue with Deep Focus Lens. Again, she has a tattoo on her forearm. If I had a tattoo, do you think we could get to 90,000 subscribers? If I put a tattoo of MMT right here on my forearm, would we get at least 10,000 subscribers out of that? Because I would do it. For 10,000 subscribers, easily. I would get a crazy-ass MMT. No, I wouldn't. Fuck, hell no.
To my friends, so long as they don't know a lot of information about the premise. What makes Barbarian so much fun for me is...
She's talking about Barbarian. What are we doing? Why does the... Man, I'm quitting. This is my last night. I'm not ever doing any more of this. When she's sitting here talking about Barbarian for the first, minute, not even 30 seconds. Let's see how much longer she talks about Barbarian.
It's as if Cregger walked into a college writing course, like a creative writing course. And typically in a class like that, at the beginning, you might get a simple writing prompt. And it's just there for the first 15 minutes of class to kind of stretch your creative muscles.
There's the tattoo. Do you see? If I got a tattoo, hold on.
Walked into a college writing course, like a creative writing course. And typically in a class like that, at the beginning,
other arm.
A simple writing prompt. And it's just there for the first 15 minutes of class to kind of stretch your creative muscles. It's as if he walked into class and did that singular prompt at the beginning, walked away and decided, I'm going to make a movie out of this. And not only am I going to make a movie out of this, I'm not going to write a second draft.
She is 50 seconds in and she's not talking about Weapons. And she has 90,000 subscribers. Do you guys want me to help you with the math here? That is 30,000 times. No, not 30,000 times. Is it? It's whatever. It's a lot more than we have.
This is fine. So he's never going to expand on anything. The whole thing is surfacey. And normally when I say
her background's boring too. It's like her couch. And she's also got everything backwards. She's mirroring her lens. You see everything's backwards? Why is she backwards?
That it sounds like an insult, but in this instance, I mean it in the best possible way. There's
she's a minute in. She's not talking about the movie yet.
This unique threading together of the narrative and of the experience where, yes, it feels like you're making it up as you go along.
Yeah, it sure does, doesn't it? Because that's probably what Zach's doing.
There is an immediacy there. It is thrilling, and clearly the movie is referencing everything from Psycho to, even Drag Me to Hell. It's refreshing. It's funny. It's colorful.
She's an hour. She's a minute and 20 seconds in, still nothing about Weapons.
But now with Weapons, it's like
here we
Cregger
go.
has 2 different movies under his belt. So there.
You guys, I quit. I'm done. If I came on here and said, now that Zach Cregger has made Weapons, he now has 2 different films under his belt. Imagine if that was the first thing I said. You know how dragged I would get? I would get dragged by all of the film Twitter blue-haired, rainbow-haired weirdos. Oh, my God. Every which way. But when she says she has 2 films, what?
You see a visible through line. Again, due to the improvisational kind of shoot from the hip type of mentality, it's going to give us a new type of tension. However,
it doesn't work, honey. I'm sorry. I shouldn't. That makes me really sexist. It doesn't fucking work.
At the same time, I think when you remain in that external headspace for too long,
she's talking like no one talks. Why do you watch this? This isn't even relatable. You just think she's cute. I'm going to call Coach. I'm calling your ass out right now. You wouldn't watch her if she was a guy. You wouldn't even. You would turn the channel. You wouldn't subscribe. The fact that she is a woman wearing a short, showing off her midsection, whatever. That's why you care. You don't care about what she's saying. You're objectifying her, and Coach, for that, you're bad. You're a bad person. For shame.
The effect when you veer into the third act starts to feel maybe a little bit sloppy. Hence why I struggle a lot with the third act of Barbarian and that particular perspective. They're showing that point of view. And
I like how she puts her hand here. If I did more of this, I would have 90,000 subscribers. This is why I need to do more of this throughout the stream. I just wish that Zach was a little more focused and didn't do as much weird shit as he does. Because it doesn't work. But I think that's it. From now on, Erick's hand's going to go to his head. I am talking about myself in the third person, and I'm going to review movies. This is going to help. I'm going to make a C shape and stick it next to my head whenever I am really deep in thought.
How it ties into the greater concept, the greater conversation on toxic masculinity. To me, it felt a little bit threadbare.
No. Who talks like this? You know what? No one in there, if you went to a bar and started talking to someone and they're like, the toxic masculinity and it feels threadbare, you guys would punch me in the face. Be like, I don't want to talk to this guy. But if she's a cute, listen, I'm not going to say I think that, but some of you do. You're going to say, right, oh, she's so brilliant. She's threadbare.
That point. But Weapons as a project, I think it's very similar to Barbarian. It captures the spirit. It's totally in step with it. If you liked Barbarian, I think you're absolutely going to like this one. But I would say Weapons, yes, it's a much more ambitious work. Instead of 3 perspectives, I think we have about 6.
She's 100% reversed. Because listen, this is what we do. Forget about everything else. She's reversed because look, Watchmen is backwards. All of the books are backward. You should be able to read that, right? Because it's reversed. She's mirroring. I don't know why she's doing that. Why doesn't she have the bookshelf on the right? It's not even particularly interesting. Is it because she likes, what's she doing? Can you guys help me? This is artistically, I want to know, why would you mirror it? Can you guys help me?
And this narrative is just winding in and out of all these nooks and crannies. It reminds me of a flock of birds where they're just going in one direction.
No, we're not going to talk about what. We're going to talk about flock of birds.
And then just whoosh, they just shift into another one, and you're like, when did they?
There she has. I think it's a heart. Is it a heart tattoo? I'm getting one. That's it. Next stream, I'm going to have a heart tattoo. Where is it? Damn it! I had it here. There it is. What is it? Is it a heart? What is that? Let me zoom in. I can't zoom in. Shit. What is it? Is it a skull? What is that? What's that tattoo? Can you guys see it? I'm going to get one. Let's go back and see.
Also suffers, again, from the same flaws as Barbarian. With Weapons, the premise is very simple. You just don't want to read too much into it. Allow the movie to work itself out as it goes. That's my recommendation.
She has multiple. She has one on each arm. What are the armbands for? What's going on with the armband? She has 4 armbands. If I started wearing 4, instead of the watch, I had 4 armbands, would you guys think that's cool? I'm just trying to figure out how I can get more subscribers. Armbands and tattoos? Wear a short skirt? What do you want? What do you want me to do? I'm totally down for it.
For watching the film. The narrative has kind of a Stephen King sort of feel to it. We're in this town in Pennsylvania, and we get to be kind of a fly on the shoulder of all these different characters within the town. We get to experience their relationships, their interactions.
Oh my God. How many rings does she have on, too? Okay, real quickly, can I just do this? It's going to take 2 seconds. Just quickly, I'm only going to do this really fast. It won't be long. We won't watch the entire thing. Just give me 1 second to go to my own channel. Hold on, watch. Let me hit this. And we're going to watch for those of you who didn't watch the beginning of the stream, I'm going to go back to the beginning of the stream, and we're going to watch the beginning. Tell me who's better.
Start by
Deep focus lens
Start by
or
shredding.
me. Hold on. Beginning of the stream, and we're going to watch the beginning. Tell me who's better.
Start by
Deep focus lens.
Start
Oh my
by
God. Or
shredding.
me. Hold on. Where can I go back? Can I? Oh, here it is. Ready? Okay, here it is. Get ready. This is the beginning of tonight's stream. We just watched Deep Focus Lens. Let's watch my beginning and tell me who's better. Ready? Get set. This is the beginning of my stream tonight. Okay. This is where we started. An hour and 30. Wow. This guy's got a good voice.
The City of Angels. It's Thursday night.
Who's better, this guy or Deep Focus Lens? Just quickly.
The box office preview
Come in right now.
is underway.
Come in.
And tonight's MMT evaluation. Weapons. Holy hell, do we have a lot to talk about tonight.
This is Inception. It's already better. Like the techno music, it looks better. Someone said if I sat on the floor, we'd be better off. But let's go back and listen to a little more Deep Focus Lens.
They have their own lives, their own flaws, their own motivations in life, like we all do. Justine is one of the characters too, and she is played by Julia Garner, and she is a school teacher at an elementary school. One day she just goes to class like she does.
This has more views than I'll ever get on this video, and I'm done. This is it. It's the last stream I ever do. Until Sunday. Well, like 2 more seconds. Let's see if she gets to the point. We're 4 minutes
At a certain
in.
point in the movie, we get a perspective suddenly from this homeless drug addict who isn't necessarily tied to the rest of the characters in the same
wait a second. She's going after the drug addict. Hold on.
way, but he does become involved in the case. And you might think to yourself, you know, why do we need this
We don't need
perspective?
it.
It doesn't
We don't
feel
need it.
that necessary. But in my opinion, it does matter.
No, it doesn't. You're wrong. That's it. I'm done with Deep Focus Lens. I'm done with her because she's wrong about the drug addict. Okay, and we're better than her. I don't care if she has 1 million. Exactly, Jason. You just nailed it. You guys see this? She's busy trying to sound like a film academic, just like all of the other chin-stroking knobs in this space. You're talking about your Robert Daniels. You're talking about your Justin Changs. You're talking about your who's a female critic, so I don't get it, and a white guy, so I don't, because that's what people say. Well, you're going after. No. There's plenty. Oh, Sean Fennessy. Of course. How did I miss that? So that's what I'm talking about, right? When you're trying to sound like, oh, I'm so learned, look at me, I'm the academia, it just is lame. She's like totally unrelatable. You guys just think she's cute. That's why you watch her. Don't tell me you don't. Coach, if you're still here, you better admit that. Don't tell me you watch for her analysis. Fuck. But no, I'm not watching any more Deep Focus Lens. All right, let's see if there's anything else to watch here tonight. I'm not going to go back and watch my stream. That was weird. That was kind of creepy in a way, right? It was very Inception-y. Do we want to watch, let's see. No, Cody Leach is kind of lame. Do we want to watch him? I don't want to watch Cody Leach. He's boring. Let's see if I can find. Oh, let's watch Chris Gore's out of theater reaction. Here we go, guys. You guys ready? Here's Gore. He's probably 7 drinks in at this point. Let's watch Chris Gore's reaction. Here he is out of the AMC. Where was it? I can't tell where they screened this. Is this it? I don't know where. Let me see if I can figure it out. Here, let's watch Gore's out of theater in Allen. Let's all try to figure out how many Trulies that Chris Gore had too. I'm going to put the number at 3, maybe 4. Let's find out. Let me listen to him and I can tell you how many he had. Give me a second.
Okay, we're at the AMC Theater in Washington, D.C.
Georgetown AMC.
Why are you in D.C.? Oh, he's probably for some comic convention. What's up with his hair? He looks like a hobo. Is Gore homeless? What the fuck's going on with this shit?
That's right. He just got out of Weapons. And Alan is not a huge horror fan, not a horror guy.
What? Alan, what's wrong with you, dude?
I'm a horror guy. I have a lot of thoughts and things to say, but I thoroughly loved it. Great.
Did you? Oh, God. What a surprise. I told you Gore's a terrible critic. What's he looking at, by the way? He's looking off some... The camera's in front of you, bud.
Storytelling.
There it is.
I mean, the trailer does not give things away. The trailer shows you everything in the first 5 minutes. After that, it will keep you guessing. Alan, your thoughts?
I'm never seeing this movie ever again. Never.
Why?
Never ever again. It'd be spoilers if I told you.
Yeah, really, it's hard to talk about this movie without spoilers. We'll do our best.
But I'll say it's a very smart.
This is not like, this is boring. How many views do you have? Only 1,600. Oh, it's an hour ago. It was an hour ago. All right. Well, they have more than I have. Let's see if we can find someone else. And then I'm going to get ready to go. At 10 o'clock, I'm done. I'm not going a second past 10 o'clock here in LA. It's 15 minutes. You got 15 max. Let's see. The Angry Joe Show. Let's watch this guy. I don't know who he is. Let's find out who this
Imagine
guy is.
being able to build
I don't know
an app
who
with your
Angry
name
Joe
on
is,
it
but we're going to watch
just
him.
by thinking about it. Meet Base 40.
Ooh, this is what you know what? This is the problem. I don't have a graphic intro. If I had a graphic intro, we'd probably have 400 million subscribers. This is why I'm being throttled. Oh my God, this guy's got, holy shit, this guy's got 3.27 million subscribers. My God, I can't even imagine what that would be like. That would be, I'm not saying it'd be a dream, but let's find out.
Hey guys, we just got back from the brand new horror film Weapons. Now this is one directed and written by Zach.
It's already bad. You guys, can I just ask you what's going on? Can I just be honest with you? Can you just listen? This is all I want. It's like therapy now for the last few minutes. How does my channel have no fucking subscribers when I watch these other people with 3 million subscribers? No, I mean, you guys, there are subscribers. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. But I need you to explain to me how I have like nothing in these motherfuckers who aren't even exciting or interesting or they're kind of dorky looking. Why do they have 3 million? What am I doing wrong? Can you guys help me? What's going on? Oh. Well, okay, fine. Maybe he's a video game guy. I don't know. I gotta change
Zach
something.
Cregger, starring Julia
a lot
Garner
of us
and
already.
Josh.
Well, I don't think I've had one tonight. Come on, man. For 3 million subscribers, you should not have 10 seconds into your video.
Brolin. And this is one where I wanted to do a trailer reaction for, but never got a chance to because the trailer was very, very intriguing.
Tom, thank you for being there for me, buddy. I appreciate it. I don't know. I mean, I can't answer the question. It doesn't make sense to me, but I can't control it. I don't care. I'm just saying I don't understand it because if I let me just be real with you guys. If I was watching Angry Joe or Deep Focus Lens or any of these people and I was like, wow, this person's great. I see why. But the chances of that is very minuscule. I mean, the average, like, look at a Grace Randolph. She's not that great, okay? Listen, I'm doing this by myself. Without Scott, I did it. Watch the first. Okay, the first, 20 minutes or so. I can do this by myself and do it all the time by myself. I think I'm pretty decent at it. But for whatever reason, we just kind of stagnate at whatever it is. And it's just kind of like, I feel like we're better than that, but it is what it is. I can't control it. I will say this. Whenever I talk on this stream, you know, guys, I always like to talk about stuff that I probably shouldn't. And one of the things I talk about things like crazy shit, like dragons, UFOs, planets that are orbiting us. I understand that's crazy. I get it. Like, that's not like normally what a movie show does. But who cares? Why can't I do that? And, you know, is that why? Because they don't want people talking about that shit? Because, I mean, it has to be one of the reasons. I mean, I might as well do it now since you guys are watching. Let's just have fun. Just real quick. Just I'm going to show you guys something real quick. I showed you the other day for the you didn't. Don't leave. If you're going to leave right now, please don't leave. Like, of all the times I want you to stay, we need you to stay for this, okay? Because this is going to be good. What I'm going to show you right now is better than anything we've done so far. Untitled Project. Doesn't matter. Let's go. No, we're right there. Let me zoom. Get ready, everybody. Okay, hold on. No tilt. Okay, let me switch it. Let me rotate. Okay, back to this. Just quickly. This is what probably gets me in trouble. That's South America, y'all, right? Hey, everybody. Let's go visiting South America. Let's go down here to between Antarctica and what the fuck is this thing? What the hell am I looking at here? So here's the deal. It's right in front of you. You guys can see. What do you see in front of you? Everybody who's here right now, come in with a comment. Go, real quick. Blake's Angry Dragon. What do you see in front of you? Come on. Come on, guys. Tell me what you see. Don't tell me you don't see it. Okay? Do not tell me you do not see what I'm showing you. Let me roll out. Get rid of the clouds. What are you looking at right there? Okay, now, quickly, I termed this hit me the other night. This is crazy. I can put this all together now. You guys ready to have your minds blown? It's 100% true. So this, as you guys can see, is a gigantic, right? Now, earlier, I was convinced that this was the eye. That is not the eye. That is the nostril. There are nostrils on this son of a bitch going down the nose halfway through to ventilate. Why? Because look here across the bottom. These are all active volcanoes across the bottom of this. Do you guys see that across the bottom? These are all active volcanoes across the nose. Look at this, okay? By the way, the depth here, it goes from here and drops straight off. This thing is in the water. It's massive. These are nostrils, and the eye is right there. That is the eye. The only reason you cannot see the eye is because there's ice on top of the eye. 100%. So here's the thing. Symmetry. Nostril number 2 is here. It's underneath the ice. And eye number 2 is here. So the eyes are left here and right here underneath the ice. We cannot see the other one because there's ice. If there were no ice, you would see a gigantic eye. In fact, you can actually make it out as I twist it. This is a tear duct right here. The pupil will be right in here. And this is where the smoke would come out the side. Right there. It's right there, dudes. I can't help you. It's right in front of you. I don't know. I just wanted to show it to you since we haven't. This is what gets me in trouble, though. You know that, right? As soon as I start talking about this, they're like, Weber can't talk. That's it. I'm out of here. But, whatever. It's my stream. I'll do what I want. And we'll still be better than Deep Focus Lens and who else? Angry Joe. Let's see if I can find one more to make fun of tonight. Enough of the dragon, you guys. Wait, did I say that? Did I just say what I think it really is? No, did I? I think I did. Let's see. Let's look around YouTube. Weber watches YouTube. Oh, no. Right now we have 666 people on the live stream. Someone leave. Someone leave right now. Get off. 668. That's okay. Stay. All right. Let's see what else we have. Chris Benoit. Let me see. I like Benoit's fascinating. Not the fact what he did to his family, but just okay. Here's Spooky Astronauts. Let's watch her real quick. 12,000. By the way, she already has 25,000 views on this.
The future of trading is here on Robinhood. Purpose built for how you trade.
Zach Cregger's psychological horror film Weapons is one of the most anticipated of the year. I'm not saying it's the most...
If I had a British accent, would I have more people watch? Do you think you will watch more if I had a British accent the entire time? That would... See, I can't hold an accent. Do it...
Hyped yet, because it only just premiered in many major cities last night, but it's already sitting on IMDb.
Oh, she's Australian. It's Australian. Yeah, that's Australian.
At a 7.9 with currently 665 votes, which is kind of crazy. The Shining has...
She's not talking about the film again. They're talking about... This is weird.
An 8.4, and although many more votes, over 600 is still a good amount for keeping that high of a score. I'm going to take you along with me today, spoiler free, and let you know my thoughts on the film, who I think it will suit, and if it's worth your time, and if you should run out and see it.
Do you think I should play creepy music in the background? Would that help?
ASAP. The movie is written and directed by Zach Cregger, who did Barbarian. I have seen that people I know who went to the premiere last night have put hashtags.
What's going on here? What is happening? Why is she in a car? What is she doing? Why is she showing herself going to the theater? This is weird. Hold on.
Just so you can get a taste, an idea, figure out whether it's worth your time and money.
I'm trying to figure out what's happening.
The cinema experience. Let's go see Weapons. I am so excited. Let's go.
Oh, like she's acting like she's going to the theater. Like here she is getting in the car. This is really fucking weird. What is happening? Why am I watching her drive to the theater and like look at the camera and walk to in? Should I do more of this? I'm going to do this on the next stream. I'm going to stream directly from the theater, walking to my car, and then coming out and coming onto the set. This is... What the fuck is happening?
I am so pissed off because
what? That's at all an act. She didn't Okay, let's just hold on. I can't even believe what I just watched. I have no fucking idea what's happening here. Why is she showing herself walking in the theater like she had to prove it? So, do you guys not believe me that I saw the movie? Do I need to start recording myself walking in? I mean, I take a picture outside. Do you need me to start? I'll start recording myself going in my seat. I feel like maybe that's what we're missing.
I'll never get to experience that for the first time again. That was...
It's another YouTuber you guys think's cute. You know what? Listen, can I tell you guys, if you're a guy out there, you're a shallow son of a bitch. You really are. You know, all you care about is, look, she's cute. I don't care what she says. I just like looking at her. Don't be like that. Don't be a simp. If you're doing it, I don't mean to be offensive, but just be a little more... You know, just don't do that.
Insane. It's everything that I want when I watch movies. It was well concealed. It was twisted. It was scary. I was so
Definitely not scary, honey. Sorry, astronaut lady. Not scary.
That film. Like, look around, guys. It is the middle of the day and a horror movie scared me. But I want to talk about it, obviously, in a way that you'll know whether it will work for you. So, weapons. I wasn't too sure how much I should talk about. The only thing I knew about the kids disappearing, but it happens at the very start. So it opens up to this. And I thought the film would be around the disappearance of the children.
No, exactly. It's not what you've been sold.
Oh, that is the mystery. That is what is bringing the characters to a lot of... I thought it was well balanced. Patients where they don't know in this film. Well done, because I was scared that it was going to do one of those things that we have seen recently.
This is spooky astronauts, and she has 181,000 subscribers. You just think she's cute. You guys, you know what, Coach? This is, now that you're back, Coach, I'm putting this on you right now. You're to blame. You are to blame for this. I'm not saying she's bad. She's better than Deep Focus Lens, for sure. Okay? I'm more entertained by what she's doing because I don't know why she's like walking in the theater. And it's like, what was that all about? She's petting her cat. Very weird. But I will say I do like her, and I think she's cuter than Deep Focus Lens. You guys want to play that game? Let's play that game. Who's cuter, Deep Focus Lens or Spooky Astronaut? I'm going to vote Spooky Astronaut, but they're still not Elizabeth Olsen, okay? They're not Sydney Sweeney. You son of a bitch. Sydney Sweeney's not even hot, says the fucking weirdo with the rainbow hair. What are you talking about? Sydney Sweeney'd be hot at any high school in the world. Put her in high school and they'd be like, oh, Sydney Sweeney is like the homecoming queen. She's just got that all-American. That's why people don't like it. She's like some kind of white supremacy symbol. These people. You know who says that? They're really ugly people. It is. I say it all the time. If you're really ugly, you hate Sydney Sweeney. You're like, ugh, man, I don't like her because she's cute and she probably gets some action. I don't get any action because I look like Agatha the Horrible. Well, I mean, maybe go to the gym. Have you ever thought about that? Maybe not eat all of the ho-hos. You know what I'm saying? Maybe go to the sushi all you can eat and not eat the entire buffet. I'm just saying there's ways that you can make yourself a little bit better, but you choose to instead hate Sydney Sweeney for not eating the entire box of Twinkies and ho-hos and ding-dongs and Little Debbie Star Crunches. I don't know. It's 2 hours in. I can't tell you. This is it. I told you 2 hours. And you're 100% right. Elizabeth Olsen's so hot. But do we think Spooky Astronauts, real quickly, this is the last thing of the night. Do we think Spooky Astronauts is hotter or Deep Focus Lens? Real quickly. Just DF, L, or SA. Which one? Right now, come in and really, Eric, you need to start trashing the left all the time. Become a full-blown right-wing YouTuber who plays video games. Is that what I need? No, because it'd be a fake. She looks like, wait, Deep Focus Lens looks like an alien? What does Coach think? I'm not a troll. Coach, I didn't say this. I'm not reading the comment. What the fuck? Dude, this is over the line, man. Jacob's in here. What we're talking about something. I don't know what's going on. Spooky astronaut. Yep, I agree, Kevin. I agree. She's hotter. Neither one. Sid, I'm with you. I'm with you. Neither one is really all that hot. I mean, let's just be honest with each other. Okay, let's just quickly look at Sydney Sweeney, and then we can talk about someone who's pretty hot. Hold on, Sydney Sweeney. This is why the channel's like whatever. What's going on here? Let's find an image of Sydney Sweeney. Bra. There. I mean, I gotta figure out some way to like find the thing. There it is. This will work. This is what we're talking about. It's on eBay if you guys want to buy this. I mean, I don't know why Sydney Sweeney's why she's hot. Why do people like Sydney Sweeney? I don't see it. It doesn't make sense to me. What? What are you talking about? How do you not understand? Like, how do you not get this? How do you not understand that Heather Locklear, Suzanne Summers, who else? Cheryl Teagues, all of them. I'm so fucking tired now. It's at 2 hours. I'm done. We're not talking about Sydney Sweeney. I'm not doing it. We did it. We did everything tonight. I'm good. It's over. Shit's over. All right, hold on. I will do a comment blast closeout. That's it. If I didn't get a comment, I'll hit as many as I can. CBC time. CBC time. Give me a second. There it is. Comment blast closeout. Let me find tonight's song, and I'll play it one more time. It's a cool techno track. I forget who it is. Kolsch and Tiga. Give me a second. Okay. Hold on. Pause. Ready, set. Yeah. That's it. Listen to that bass, man. This is where I'm at. This is where my headspace is. Like, late at night. It's like 10 o'clock here in LA. Named all the way. Yeah, no, for sure. Heather Locklear was smoking. TJ Hooker. They're making TJ Hooker into a movie. Netflix. Oh, great. Thank you, Netflix. But seriously, when I was Kathy Ireland. Who else? That's a lot. I don't know. Oh, Christy Brinkley for sure. 100%. Kate Hudson. Yeah, no, Tommy, I'm with you. Kate Hudson's hot. Kate Hudson was smoking hot back in the day. I mean, she still is. She still is very hot. But I agree. Kate Hudson's, yeah, absolutely good stuff. I noticed that's like I have a lot of blondes. I told you guys my girlfriend in college was a brunette with really, really big boobs. Like, they were so big she had to get a breast reduction. I'm not kidding you. It's a true story. I don't make stories up. Why do I have time? I don't have time to make stories up. People say find your girlfriend in college. I'll find a picture and I'll show her to you. I don't know what she looks like now. It's been forever. Honestly, I think I look better now than I did in college. I mean, I'm holding up, right? I'm Benjamin Button. My first crush was Nev Campbell was hot. I'm with you. If I put more... Okay, so Dylan, if I put more Sydney Sweeney in my thumbnails, even if we're talking about weapons, that's good. I'll just put her in every thumbnail. Even if she's not even in the stream, I should just start doing that. Why not? Listen to this breakdown. It's nice. Right? It works with what Weapons should have been. Weapons should have been this song. And instead, Weapons is like a cheesy techno track. This is like deep and kind of mindful. Instant clicks for you? I'm probably right. Denise Richards, 100% Steve, I'm with you. Let's see, did I miss it? Let me see if I missed a thing. Oh, yeah, I think we got that, Coach. And by the way, thank you to Kevin for the super chat tonight. Really appreciate it. Awesome night, guys. Okay, I'll be back here on Sunday. I'm going to take a few nights off and probably see nothing. There is some small film that opened this weekend I might go see. I'm not sure what it is, but we'll talk about it Sunday night. And we have the box office show on Sunday morning. Thanks for being here. As always, a pleasure. We'll see you back here on MMT. Peace out, live from the City of Angels. Oh, perfect breakdown. Goodbye.